our HTML elements in different ways, using the position property in our style sheet. Positioning is a very important concept because it will be used extensively when developing CSS-based web page layouts. There are four main types of position declarations that we will explore: static, relative, absolute, and fixed. The first and most basic position declaration is the static position. Static is actually the default position of an element if no position is specified. We've already worked with this many times. On this HTML page, we have a div that references ID selector div1. We've defined some basic properties, including background color, width, and height. Note that we have not declared a position property. Let's take a look at this page in our web browser to see what it looks like. We can see that the div is positioned where we might expect, at the top left corner of the content area, because that's where the content of our body would normally begin. Without specifying a position property, the default position is known as the static position. The element will inherit its position based on the normal flow of content on the page. If we wanted to specify the position is static, we could do so by creating this declaration. And when we refresh our web browser, there should be no change in positioning. Example, let's add the following properties to our style rule. Now, if we were to refresh our web page and take a look at this in our web browser, we'll notice that nothing has changed. Even though we've specified the top and left position, the element is in the exact same place it was prior to adding those declarations. The reason for this is because our position is still set to static. Let's go ahead and change the position to relative and see the difference. We can now see that this element has moved from 50 pixels from the left side of our content area and 50 pixels down from the top of our content area. Now let's work with nested divs. We're going to create a div inside this div and see how the relative positioning is affected when we're working with nested and parent divs. The first thing we need to do is create the ID selector for the nested div. We'll call it div2. And we'll create some properties for this div. We're making it a different color, and we'll also make it a different size, so then that way we can clearly see a distinction between our original div and this new nested div. Okay, we'll keep the position as relative to see how a relative positioned div behaves inside of another div that it also has the same position declaration. So we'll go ahead and insert our nested div in our body. We'll reference ID selector div2. And we'll just save our file. And this is what the the new document looks like. We can see that our nested div is situated within our parent, our container div. Now we want to move the nested div 80 pixels from the top and left relative to the parent div. In order to do this, all we need to do is add the top and left declarations to our style rule. Now when we save our file and refresh, we can see that the nested div has moved 80 pixels from the top and 80 pixels from the left relative not to the web browser's content area, but to its parent div. So keep that in mind. Another position property is absolute positioning. Absolute positioning will ensure the element stays in the exact same position specified in the style rule. It does not consider the flow of the page when you resize the browser window. Let's take a look at an example to illustrate this concept. Say we added a block of text above our div tags. I'm just copying a block of text and I'm going to add it above the div tags here. Now I'm going to save the file and we're going to preview this page in the web browser. Take a look at what happens when we scale the browser, when we resize it to bigger and smaller. You'll see that the div is moving up and down to accommodate the text as the browser shrinks and expands. With relative positioning, the div moves with the flow of the page. Now let's change the position of our parent div to absolute. Remember that div 1 is our parent, and we'll change the position to absolute. Now when we save the page and refresh it, you'll see that the div remains in the exact same position as specified in our style declaration. This is regardless of what we do. So if we were to resize the browser now, the parent div will stay in the exact same position we specified. Notice that the nested div, div 2, is still relative to its parent div. The last element position property we'll discuss is the fixed position. Fixed position is similar to absolute positioning. The difference is that with fixed positioning, the element does not scroll with the page. Let's take a look at an example. To see the difference between absolute and fixed positioning, we need to insert a much larger block of text above our div tags. This will force the page to allow scrolling. So I'm going to copy a large block of text and I'm going to paste it. So you can see that it's a lot longer than the previous block of text. So if I save the page and I preview it in the web browser, we can see that the page now scrolls. Okay, so we went over absolute positioning. Okay, our parent in the last exercise had absolute positioning, and we can see that with absolute positioning, the parent div does in fact move with the rest of the content when you scroll up and down. Now let's change the position to fixed. And when we save the file, refresh our browser, you can see now that the parent div does not move up and down as you scroll through the contents of the web page. And that is the difference there between fixed and absolute positioning.